And as I pulled out, a cop was across the street and he immediately pulled out and got, right on my ass and pulled me over. And I went to a place that I felt was safe. I pulled in. He immediately comes out with his gun drawn. They get me out of the car. I got out willingly because they had guns drawn on me. They brought a dog, said it alerted on the car, which it didn't. He thought that I looked suspicious sitting there in the parking lot.
That's a Terry v. Ohio stop.
Yeah.
That's a Terry stop.
Hey Mom, it's your son. How you doing? I'm so grateful that I read The Social Contract, this book by a philosopher named Jean-Jacques Rousseau. And what The Social Contract said is that we would establish laws to uphold the rights of individuals, to protect your individual liberty. Well, when we started enforcing slave contracts in 1704 and again in 1971 with the war on drugs, police couldn't call themselves protecting and serving. They were enforcing laws, and they went with the moniker law enforcers. And when you enforce every little ticky-tack law on the people of a community, it turns that community into a police state, prison state, death state. And that's exactly what's happened here in Ironton, Ohio. So I have asked the townspeople to come forward and talk to me on camera and tell me their story. And there is a list of dozens. This is about to break this town wide open.
His face is flush and red. His fingers were shaking just now. You should have seen it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And this story is about Blankenship and McKnight. And so, I'll let you tell your story, David. Go ahead.
I had a motorcycle. It was sitting on the, street parking. I don't have a garage or anywhere to put it. I don't have a yard or anything to put it in. I just put into it new tires, new seat, new handlebars, like brakes, everything. And it had sat there. Nobody contacted me at all. No notes, no calls, no knocks on the door. Then one day I get a call saying, hey, there are 4 cops here with a tow truck coming to take your motorcycle.
3 cops?
4.
4 cops. Which 4 cops were they?
I don't know about 2 of them. It was definitely McKnight was one. And then the other, one of the other officers that was recognized was, I think, the younger Blankenship.
The other Blankenship. So McKnight and Blankenship come to your house and they bring a tow truck?
Yeah. Well, they didn't come to the house. They came to the street. They didn't knock on the door or say, hey, we're here to do this or anything.
And your motorcycle's just on the curb out there in front of your apartment building.
Yeah.
And the cops pull up and they do what?
They took the motorcycle and, somebody tried to intervene. The person who gave me the phone call tried to intervene and asked what's going on, and they just had no words for him. The person tried to hand them the phone and said, here's the owner. He'd like to talk to you and figure things out, and they refused. They just looked at them and just blank stares, no words, nothing.
So they're taking your motorcycle, dude.
Yeah. And then beyond that, months later, I got a letter saying that my vehicle had been impounded and to talk to them about resolving it. I just never, I have very low income and I've never had money to get it out of the impound.
And so they take it away and then you call around, but you can't really find it. And then your bike's just gone. The cops have taken your bike. What's your recourse?
Other than just, pay the money.
How much money did they ask you to get your bike out of impound?
I never even asked specifically because I knew I more than likely didn't have the money, and it was broken down and I didn't have the money to fix it. That's why it was sitting there to begin with. So I just said, oh, well, I guess it's a loss.
You ever see McKnight or Blankenship? You ever see them?
Honestly, aside from that, I've never had a run-in with the Ironton police, but I really don't get out that much either. I'm at home a lot. If I am on the streets, it's to go to Ashland or Huntington. I don't stick around Ironton very much. There's not a lot to see or do around here.
Right. So who profits from your bike?
Well, I know they have an auction every once in a while with all the impounded vehicles that nobody picked up. They steal people's vehicles basically and sell them so they can buy new bulletproof vest or guns or whatever they're.
So the police department directly benefits from taking your motorcycle off the street.
Oh yeah. As of right now, they've been able to do whatever they want and no repercussions. It's scary. It is.
Hold your hand up, David. Put your hand in front of the camera. Just like this. Point your fingers at the camera. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been shaking the whole time he's talked to
Yeah.
me.
I've been put in handcuffs for scratching off lottery tickets. I was sitting in the parking lot of the gas station. I went and bought one. Came out. I scratched it off in the car. It took a while. I went back in, scratched it off again. Got another one, scratched it off. I was there for maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, scratching off tickets. And as I pulled out, a cop was across the street and he immediately pulled out and got right on my ass and pulled me over. And I went to a place that I felt was safe. I pulled in. He immediately comes out with his gun drawn. He is approaching me, telling me to get out of the car. And then I'm saying, that's not necessary. What's going on? Because I don't do anything wrong. I got out willingly because they had guns drawn on me. But yeah, they brought a dog, said it alerted on the car, which it didn't. I saw it, the supposed alert that it did. He thought that I looked suspicious sitting there in the parking lot.
That's a Terry v. Ohio stop.
Yeah.
That's a Terry stop. How tight are the cuffs?
Pretty tight. The funny thing is they didn't search. They didn't search me before they put me in the back of the car. So I still had my phone. So I was able to call someone to come and witness what was happening.
Get the fuck out of here. So they don't even pat you down. They just want to put you in the torture cuffs.
Yeah.
They're not checking for weapons for their safety. They putting you in torture cuffs. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so how long are you sitting in the back of the car in the torture cuffs?
Overall, I was there for 2 hours in cuffs.
What?
While they tossed the car and didn't find anything because they didn't,
Well, they'd already confirmed with the gas station attendant that you were just buying lottery tickets.
He claimed that I probably had something and just threw it out in the time that it took me to find a place to pull over. He thought that he says that I was buying time, trying to ditch whatever I had.
And so he's accusing you of drugs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because that's how police departments are funded, is by how many drug arrests they get. And then after they realize that you don't have anything in your car, what happens next?
Well, they found I had gone across town in South Point to get formula and diapers for my daughter because I was keeping her that night. So I had a stack of diapers and formula. It wasn't formula; it was like cereal, like that mushy cereal. I had it in a bag. And he found that, and that's the second time he came back to the car, and he was like, I found this, you just might as well tell me what it is. And
he found your baby formula for your kid?
Yeah. And I said, that's formula. It was sitting right next to diapers in the front seat in plain view.
So he's trying to get you to admit that your baby formula is drugs?
Yeah.
How old is your baby at this time?
She would have been, an infant, less than a year old.
Less than a year old.
Yeah.
And so what's the most expensive thing to buy when you have a baby?
Formula, food, diapers,
baby formula. And so is he opening up the formula and putting his fingers in it?
Oh yeah, it was just in like a sandwich bag, and he opened it up, got in there, and then at the end of the stop, whenever they took the handcuffs off me and let me go, he tried to hand it back to me, and I said, I don't, it's tainted now. I don't want that, and he forced it on me, and I just took it and threw it in the dumpster that was right next to the car.
Because he stuck his fingers in your baby formula.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
So you just had some. It's just incredible. And so you have a whole bag of, so if this is drugs, by the way, just a couple scoops, if you've ever had any kind of drugs, a couple scoops of baby formula, that would be like $100,000 worth of drugs.
Yeah, it would have been hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of drugs if it was. And I wouldn't just be driving around with it in my front seat if I was that type of person, I'm sure.
Now, when they take you out of cuffs and they give you back your baby formula, they don't give you a ticket or anything, and then you're just supposed to go on about your way and have a nice day. That's it.
Yeah. Come to find out, I talked to because I was in there all the time in that gas station. I asked the girl that ran the register. I told her what happened, and she was like, "Oh, whenever you were sitting out there last night, he called and asked what you were up to, and I told him you were scratching off lottery tickets, that you had been buying lottery tickets."
Really?
And he said, "Well, I'm going to keep an eye on him anyway."
What?
And yeah, I had other issues of harassment from that same department.
Where's South Point at?
It's about 10 minutes southeast of Ironton.
It's in Ohio still?
Yeah. So it's the most southern point of Ohio. It's just right there.
So Ohio is just a total police state where they let cops do whatever they want to people.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Alfie Blevins. Yeah,
okay.
I'm
pretty sure he's an officer in another jurisdiction now. I'm not sure where. It's not anywhere super near here.
And then you called the police department, and Alfie Blevins is no longer a cop there in a couple of months. Do you keep checking back to see if Alfie's around?
No, but South Point is such a small town; it's considered a village. I mean, you just like drive through it, and like it's just a blink and you miss it. And so you can basically see, who's on patrol and everything. They're ever present. It's hard to miss them if you drive through town at all.
Right. And so, last question I have for you. You just outed Blankenship and McKnight for pretty much, stealing your motorcycle for the gain of the Ironton Police Department. And so now, do you think they're going to retaliate against you?
And I hope not. But I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
But yeah, it is scary.
Yeah.
But it also, some things need to be said,
Yeah.
or it'll always be that way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. If the police come around, you film them. You turn your camera on, and you plead the Fifth Amendment. You can download my trifold for free, get the Fifth Amendment, and show them that you're not going to speak and don't speak to the cops. What about Sheriff Jeff Lawless? Is he helping out? Is he stopping the corruption?
Honestly, I don't know. I saw the live stream a little while ago. He seemed receptive at first, but also it's hard to tell. It's hard
As soon
to tell
as he
when
was
he's
insulted, though, he quit.
Yeah, and
As soon
I
as he
think
got
that's
insulted, he tapped out.
That's a common theme with them. They really don't like to be questioned or
Insulted.
Yeah.
I insulted him. I did
Yeah.
it on purpose.
To them, that's a criminal offense.
Right, but they can attack you and violence and hurt you.
Yeah.
But they can't take an insult.
Yeah.
They can't take hearing that I don't like them.
They can steal your personal effects. They can
Your motorcycle.
Yeah, they can go kidnap you and put you in a cage with no oversight. I mean, where's the oversight? I don't know if there's any.
There's no third party, is there?
Yeah, no.
Okay. You got two bodies on top of you.
And when I do, I get my face slammed into the pavement, and then I see I'm down, and he's on me like this, and my face is pushed into the pavement, and this hand's here, and this hand's here, and all I see is a can right here.